This is your Neepawa Town Council Debrief for the September the 5th, 2023 meeting. The debrief will highlight the key issues being discussed by Council and provide additional information where we can. This week, we go back to Council's regular schedule of 2 meetings per month. Please note that due to a camera malfunction, there is a short portion of the Council meeting that is missing from this week's coverage. It amounts to no more than 3 to 4 minutes and affects the reports from Councillor Sisley and the Operations Manager, Denise Akay. Starting with Council reports, Councillor Parrott kicked off the meeting by sharing Council's participation in the Invest Canada Partnership Tour last week in Brandon. Invest Canada fields inquiries from across the world looking for business partnerships in Canada, and right now particularly in Manitoba. And Neepawa had the opportunity to share what the community had to offer.
Deputy Mayor Parrott.
I just want to say, I think it was last week, we had the opportunity to attend the Invest Canada Partnership Tour in Brandon with EDO crew and CAO Sinchishin, myself. We had representation from Investment Canada, the federal level and the provincial level, and it was also attended by the municipal ARMED, the Economic Development Rural Branch from Manitoba. And to compile it into a nice little nutshell, it was the opportunity for us to provide information to these 3 different departments on everything that Neepawa has to offer as far as all the infrastructure that we have available, the utilities, the roads, railroads, pieces of land, partial or potential partners in future developments. Because these guys, they get phone calls from all over the world. Do you have a spot where we can do this investment or this factory or whatever it may be? And right now, Manitoba is a sought-after province because we are a green province, so worldwide we're good for everybody's personal politics. And so once we've submitted all this stuff, which we have prepped already because we've done this before, to these entities, they will have this in their back pocket. They get a phone call from whatever company, from whatever country, and they can then say, yeah, Neepawa is a good fit for what you have. And it was one incredible meeting that both our CAO and Economic Development Officer were able to offer lots of valuable information on behalf of the town of Neepawa.
Councillor Sisley reminds residents that there are no wheels permitted on the new pickleball and tennis courts, as it degrades the surface. And this includes things such as scooters. As well, now that the pool is closed for the season, the pickleball paddles and balls can be signed out from the town office. The Neepawa Handy Van will be the recipient of this year's Co-op Feel Good Day on September 19th, where there will also be a fundraising barbecue in the co-op lot and a 50-50 draw. Councillor Nadeau lets residents know that anyone interested in becoming a healthcare aide, Westlake Employment has a partnership that may be able to provide some funding for some training. He has received a contribution from a local service organization to the new hospital and outlines how others can make a contribution through the town of Neepawa. As well, he acknowledges the recent loss of the Citizens on Patrol coordinator.
Tennis courts. This is something that Nicole sent me. I didn't realize this was an issue down there, but there's a reminder, and she put in big capital letters, no wheels on the courts, on a colored surface. There's been scooters on there, different all-terrain vehicles, and it will deteriorate the integrity of the surface. That surface was $70,000+, so it's very, very clear. No wheels whatsoever on the tennis courts. The pickleball paddles and balls can be rented from the town office, so for the remainder of the season they will no longer, of course, be at the pools, so people can come to the town office to rent those. Handyman update. We have our Fuel Good Day barbecue on September 19th from 11 to 1 p.m. at the Neepawa Gladstone Co-op Gas Bar. This is a fundraiser where Handyman was selected by Neepawa Gladstone Co-op. We will get 10 cents from every liter that is purchased at our local co-op gas bar. There will be a barbecue put on by the Handyman board. I will be cooking up some dogs and burgers. And we will also have 50/50 tickets for sale, and the draw will be made that afternoon. Tickets, 50/50 tickets are available at Harris Pharmacy, the Neepawa Legion, and I will have some up at the Yellowhead Center. The pot is already at $1,000 with half going to the winners, so yeah.
Okay, thanks Yvonne. Councillor Nadeau.
Yes, on August 16th, I had a Westlake Employment Services board meeting, and I guess Herzing College has been in contact with Westlake Employment, just reminding them that there's a healthcare aid program that because of the community partnership that Westlake can help connect people, they can qualify for a $1,000 scholarship to clients that are referred by a community partner like Westlake or by NAISS. So that was kind of neat to hear. So if people are looking to get into healthcare aid programs, please contact Westlake Employment Services, who could direct them to those channels to get them possibly signed up if they qualify for this scholarship. I had a service club come to me asking to donate to our hospital fund. So it's really good news, you know. So they gave me a check, and I double checked. So if you did want to donate, you know, if you or a group wants to donate to our hospital fund, you just have to put in the memo part, it's tag it hospital fund, and then it'll direct it there. So I have some money that's being donated on behalf of the service club, so that's really good. Good for people to know. So I bring the check to the town here tonight, which is nice. And then just to acknowledge that Neepawa Citizens on Patrol lost its coordinator, passed away unfortunately over the past month, and just something that we're wanting to acknowledge here, that we lost a good person that helped serve the community. And
who was that person?
Clint McKay. So thank you for.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. But thanks, that's nice for recognition.
Manager of Operations Denise Kay reports on several ongoing projects that they are hoping to finish before the winter months. This includes some concrete and road patching work, as well as the Park Lake build. Sakay took NECTV on a tour of the site, which you can view this week on News and Views. Work at the new lagoon is on hold while they wait for a parts shipment to arrive, and they are investigating some troublesome areas in the town's sewer lines. A couple of notes for residents this week. Hydrant flushing has started, which may result in some discoloration of water, and another small portion of Mountain Avenue will be dug up this week to facilitate servicing the new pharmacy build.
We have another project that was included in our lagoon one, but it'll be water down Railway Street to service the new expansion building we have there. We just need something for backwashing the instrumentation, the mechanical part things, and everything going in there. The lagoon building itself and the outside work will actually be taking a break for a little bit, as we have to wait on all the deliveries now. So all of our bigger items, our ticket items, so the aeration that goes inside the MVVR tank, the disc filters, the other blowers, like I said, all that stuff's on order. It's been on order for a long time. So the contractor will see a little lull in the work now, because now we just have to kind of wait for stuff to arrive. But they made good progress there. Park Lake's moving along. We'll be taking NECTV there tomorrow for a tour, so we can look at the site and get the public aware of what's going on the site. So you get a little guided tour through there. Patching has been completed for now. Profile Paving was in town doing all that work, and we extended the work that they had by quite a bit already. So if we have any other residual patches, we're hoping we can get them to do it, as they're still in town starting some street work. Hamilton Street rough-in by the museum has been done, so we do have a gravel road that is passable at the end by the museum onto Howden Avenue. So residents are allowed to drive on that Still have more concrete work, sidewalks, curbs, gutters, crosswalks, stuff to be done. We're in talks with our contractors on that one, so when we get some dates for installations. Unijet is scheduled for Friday to be in town. We have a few locations that are beginning a little troublesome for us. We have some land drainage sewers, storm sewers that need to be televised to determine what's going on with them, and we have 2 troublesome sewer areas, one that is continually plugging on us, we want to see what's going on, and another one that we're seeing pieces of pipe come back, so we want to determine if we're losing a pipe section or we have to dig up or not, so we'll do some investigative work there on that one. As of today, we started hydrant flushing, so residents may notice slight discoloration when they turn their taps or toilet or bath on. It's nothing to be alarmed about, water's still safe. This is just an effort to clean up any sedimentation that's collected at the bottom of the pipes. It just improves water quality. Our raw water, so that comes from the wells, those will be scheduled up in later September for some swabbing. Again, same thing, we get deposits inside the line, so we run basically squeegee through there, clean the sludge out, clean it up again. Higher quality water that comes into the water plant, easier to treat. Staff also changed out a bulk meter at the Rosedale meter pit. That was completed this morning. And we are scheduling a mountain closure, Mountain Avenue closure on Thursday. We have a service installation for the new pharmacy that has to be dug into the street, so we'll have to shut down the section between Mill Street and Brighton Avenue. That work is anticipated to take pretty much the whole day there. The old RCMP renovations have been moving along nicely. Last time I was in there, they had substantial rough-ins. It looks taking shape. Look forward to seeing it again. I missed the last meeting. I believe Councillor Parrott and Theo Sensation were in there to see it. So we'll look forward to the next site visit. Everything I've got.
Excellent. Okay, any questions of our manager of operations?
You said, with the pipe going down railway, are we going to put the carpet under there for the frost boils?
We'll be drilling it.
Okay.
So we'll directional drill the entire thing. There'll be a few openings where we actually do connections and weld the joints up together. But any work we have some, we'll consider carpet for placement in those zones. We do opening.
The 2023 Manitoba General Election has now officially been called. Advance voting will take place from September 23rd to 30th at the Yellowhead Centre. As well, Elections Canada is looking for workers both in advance of and during the election. So please contact them directly if you are interested.
Well, this, and of course, everybody's probably aware of this. Manitobans will go to the polls this fall. This is from Elections Manitoba. And advanced voting will run from September 23rd to September 30th with the election on October 3rd. Hoping that everyone will support voter registration efforts and encourage people to go exercise their right to vote. And they've also noted here, if anyone's interested, they have some election-related employment opportunities available for community members. They are paid positions available to Manitobans 16 years and older. And they're looking for people to work before the election to help people register to vote, or actually at the polls during the advanced voting and on the election day. So if anybody's interested, they get a hold of Election Manitoba and do a little short stint of work for the election.
And just so everybody knows, the advanced voting is up at the Yellowhead for that entire week. So
We normally skip over the financial report in our debrief, as it doesn't change a lot from week to week. But as we have a short meeting to cover this week, we thought it would be the ideal time to show the procedure the town goes through to approve its accounts, particularly for anyone who doesn't ordinarily watch the full council proceedings. You may note that any councillors that have a financial interest in any of the accounts being paid will excuse themselves for conflict from the vote and leave the room until it is complete.
All right, moving on to finance. So we've got just the accounts. Okay, so we've got just the accounts. Be it resolved that we approve the accounts for August 2023 totaling $1,773,616.94 as reviewed and representing checks 2023-01605, 2023-01848, but excluding 2023-01708, and 2023-01824. Moved by Deputy Mayor Parrott, seconded by Councillor Kostenchuk. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
I'm going to read this up this next item.
Yes, so Councillor Gerard and myself will remove ourselves.
Okay, be it resolved that we approve check 2023-01708 and 2023-01824 for August 2023 to Home Hardware Neepawa Gladstone Co-op totaling $7,135.30. Moved by Councillor Nadeau and Councillor Sicily. All those in favor? Carried.
Council holds third reading of the new water and sewer rates bylaw. These rates have not changed since 2019, and for the entire span of 2019 to 2025, the rates will see an increase of 9%, which comes out to less than 2% increase per year. CAO Colleen Sinchishin also reviews the process they go through to come up with the rates and have them approved provincially, and the notification criteria for ratepayers as these increases are implemented.
So this is the water and sewer rates. We started this process in June where you gave first reading to the bylaw to adjust the rates, the water rates for the town of Neepawa. We just recently, on August 25th, 2023, a year plus later, we received a certified copy of the Public Utility Board Order number 102-23 approving the rates, but they will be starting in January of 23, 24, and 25 because of the delay in getting them approved. They will actually be effective for October 1st of each of those years. What that means is these rates, when we give our next water billing, there'll be an insert in there because it's part of the requirement of the PUB as we notify the public what the rates are going to be. There'll be an insert in there saying that for the water billing that you will receive in January of 2024 will cover October, November, December of this year. So we have to give that notice. We have to submit a copy of to the board of our bylaw once we give it third and final reading. And then we have to agree that we're going to do our next submission and get it in before June 30th, 2026. We can either do it by way of a full application like we did this last time, or there actually is a shortened version of a rate application which we can use, which they're actually promoting based on the submissions we've been sending. We haven't run deficits for years, being able to manage our utility within the monies we receive back through the utility. Just a few notes I would make. When this originally started in June 2022, the Public Utilities Board decides what they're going to do, whether there's a public hearing required to hear the rates with the board, or whether they can just do a paper review process. When they do that, an ad goes in the paper notifying the public of their ability to comment on the rates. They received no public response to that notice of application. So because of that, they decided they would actually do just a paper review. So they reviewed the application and revenue projection presented by the town. They find the projections to be reasonable and they grant approval of the revised rates for that period of time starting October 1st, 2023 and then for 3 years thereafter. What else? I mentioned preparing the notice for the ratepayers. The one thing they did advise, and we've been working on this for a few years now, is when we do our rate application, what is reflected in our rate application to the province is set criteria and how they like to see it laid out. Because when you look at water and sewer rates in decades prior to having to come under the standards of the public sector accounting boards, you quantified certain things within your books and how they should be laid out. Well, the province has a set manner in how it is because you actually, they want to divide it up in for water distribution and water production. So there's certain things, you can't just say I'm just selling water. Because some people, either do or don't, or some are wholesale and some are not. So they want us to work with our auditors so that when our financial statements get done, all I have to do at that point in time is take my financial statement and pull those numbers directly across to what the PUB requires. So part of my application, I have to manipulate the numbers from the audited statements to equal the same bottom line number. but I have to position them the way the PUB requires them. So when they determine what a rate is, to make sure that proper amounts are being paid to cover the cost of your sewer, proper amounts are being paid for the production of water, proper amounts are being paid for the distribution of water. So we're going to work with the auditor to get all those things lined up. And it's been an ongoing process, but it takes a little while. And of course, they suggest we could use a simplified rate application process if we want to do future applications that way. So just for interest's sake, we have not had a rate increase since 2019, would have been the last time. At that time, for a regular user, the quarterly billing, if you were in those criteria, was $72.39 for the quarter. So by the time we hit 2025, it's going to be $79.24 a quarter. So if you look at it over basically that period of time, it's going to be like $12 a year. So, and of course, not everybody fits in that lowest category who just uses the minimum amount of water. You know, the standard family has a bill of, $150 probably. So it's not going to be a big impact for anybody. Over the course of time, it's like in 2023, it'd be 4% increase since 2019. So that's 4 years. And then it'll be 4% again, and then 1%. So we're thinking 9% since the period of 2019 by the time we hit 2025. So that's really pretty decent. It's less than 2 a year. So have we been fair and been able to manage? I can't ask for anything more than that. A utility for water and sewer is self-sustaining. I cannot ask for any monies that would improve our situation and set aside into the bank beyond a contingency of 10% in small minor projects. So we're pretty pleased with that. The other thing was important to note when I did the application back then, and it still exists that way today, is you're allowed a 10% loss in your utility for your water, for, maybe there's leaks, whatever. We're running about 5.35%, pretty exceptional. The utility staff do a really good job of monitoring leaks, getting them under control right away. We even, in the previous application, we looked at things that we didn't meter at that time because we were running, still under 10, I think we were running about 8 or I don't remember the percentage last, but we thought that was too high because we knew we were putting water into the fire trucks. We knew we were watering the cemetery. So since then, we've categorized those, and now when we take those into account when we have our loss, our actual loss now that we can't account for is only 5.3% and you're allowed 10. So that was pretty impressive too, that we're trying to maintain that. And we monitor it regularly. The system, when they read meters, we read meters such that they'll give you a variance of loss. So anything that you might hit 25%, looking like 25% loss in your house, we let the homeowners know to make sure that, maybe they got a leaking toilet or something. A lot of them argue with us because it's never leaking. And then they come back and say, yes, it was. They just can't hear it. Because that attributes to where your water is getting sent and what you're paying for that water. And if we can reduce the cost of that water, especially in the rural RMs, if they have leaks, we also monitor those as well. And if we feel, based on the usage out there, that we see a high volume of water heading out that way and we know those numbers aren't correct, we make sure we notify them and they need to start looking for leaks out there too. So it's not just, I know they're paying for it. Everybody says, why are you worried? They're paying for it. No, it's about conserving water. It's about how many times you look at the aquifer, when it run dry, and managing your utility properly. So I'm asking for third reading.
Okay, any other questions of Colleen? Okay, so this is a recorded vote, third reading. Be it resolved that the bylaw number 3217-22 being a bylaw of the town of Neepawa to establish water and sewer rates for the town of Neepawa's utility for the 3-year period starting October 1st, 2023 until September 30th, 2026 now be read for the third and pass, third and final time. Moved by Councillor Kostanchuk, seconded by Councillor Nadeau. All in favor? Opposed? And carried.
Can I ask just a quick question? Would that be the 2026 or 2025?
2025, but it will run to September 30th of 2026.
Okay.
Also covered was the postponement of this year's medical clinic lottery. You can view end-to-end coverage of the Town Council meeting elsewhere on the NACTV schedule, including immediately following this. If you have comments, questions, or topics that we may be able to shine some light on for you, please reach out to us at 204-476-2639 or by email at nactvnews@gmail.com. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.